Okay, so if you've seen my channel before, you know I like to fight these unnecessarily hard bosses, and for some reason I won't play any game on anything but the hardest difficulty, cause I don't know, that's just what I do. Like this butt face from Sifu on Master, 2 Rancors at the same time. I even beat up this dude Erlang, who's basically like Wukong's Vegeta. And of course I beat all of these fools on my first try, you know, I mean...
Hey, why you lying, mate?
Okay, I mean maybe not my first try.
Yeah, no mate, you're still lying. Erlang had you crying like a baby for like 4 hours straight,
Yeah,
mate.
yo, okay, whatever. Can I do the intro?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Can I do my intro? So obviously, as the thumbnail would suggest, this game is no different, because of course I put it on the hardest difficulty, which is called lethal in this game. So without any further ado, turn your brain off, get your McDouble ready, and relax as we go through the 10 most lethal bosses in Ghost of Yotei. Starting off the list at number 10, we have Soma the Condemned. And man, did his barber really do him dirty.
All I wanted was to bring joy to others with my music.
Instead, you brought pain and suffering.
If you clear out the bounty board of all the bounties in the first area, which is the Yotei grasslands, afterwards you have a chance to fight this dude. He's basically a flute-playing schizophrenic serial killer, and the only way to keep his amazing flute-playing skills is to, well... Compared to all the bounties you have to fight before you get to Soma, the difficulty jumps up a lot when you start fighting this dude. At first he attacks with his katana, which has a weird rhythm to it that honestly throws you off guard a lot of the time. Once you get his health down low enough though, he pulls out a Yari, which I honestly think is the easiest weapon to fight against in this game. However, that's really only because of a skill you can learn after you acquire the dual katanas. It's basically an auto parry if you just mash triangle, but like I said, this is a fight you can access early on, so if you don't have this skill before you fight him, he's actually super hard to deal with. That being said, this is me in my final form, so you know we got that flawless victory pretty easy. Oh yeah, and I didn't mention, but I wasn't satisfied with any of these fights unless I got flawless victory, so flawless is a must. Coming in at number 9, we got Commander Kudo, who looks kinda just like a regular NPC, but he's got a health bar at the top, so it makes him a boss. At first he has a shield and a katana, and then he switches to a torch and a katana combo, so I guess he really likes fire. Commander Kudo is actually another boss attached to a bounty, and he's actually not even the bounty target. It's a guy named Shiro, who I'm supposed to be protecting, but he left me to die.
Shiro, take your shot!
Where's your friend?
And believe it or not, he actually has more weapons, also engulfed in flame, and this game says you cannot block fire, so parrying or dodging is the only thing you can do. Luckily, even though he has GTA pockets with a whole bunch of weapons, I have Minecraft pockets, and I have more, which basically means that if you stay on your toes and use the right weapons, getting that flawless victory is pretty easy.
Shiro, you damn coward!
And taking the number 8 spot, we have the Sword Thief, and as his name suggests, he has stolen the legendary Stormblade, the sword of Ghost of Tsushima's protagonist, Jin Sakai, and because of that, just like Jin, this imposter uses all 4 of Jin's fighting stances, except now this time you're defending against his stances and not using them. He even has Jin's super badass disarm move, which honestly is pretty unfair. And with this moveset, he can honestly do a whole lot of damage really fast to you, but also he's at a bit of a disadvantage because obviously we know all of these moves, and if you're like me, you spent like 200 hours in that game, so you know what they say, it's kind of like riding a bike, it all kind of just sort of comes back to you. And on top of that, I feel like Atsu just has a lot more weapons at her disposal, and this might be a hot take, but Atsu probably would beat up Jin. Don't be mad, it is what it is. LeBron is better than Michael, it is what it is. But still, this man's not Jin and not fit to carry that blade. At a respectable number 7, we have the Kitsune, specifically the second time you fight him. He has 2 fights because he's one of the members of the Yotei 6 and the main boss of Teshio Ridge. He's also the only boss that's like the closest thing to a ninja, so basically he's got a lot of shady tricks he can rely on.
You're making a mistake.
On top of always trying to keep you at a distance, he uses these smoke bombs, making it basically impossible to see him unless you use Atsu's new listening skill. He's also proficient at using multiple types of weapons, including a katana and shield combo, as well as a Kasarigama, the weapon I'm smacking him up with right now. Another annoying weapon he has to deal with are his kunai, a weapon he loves to use almost exclusively after hitting you in the face with a smoke bomb. And of course these kunai are unblockable, cause why not? So if you happen to get past all of that without getting hit, you will be rewarded by getting thrown into his second phase. Luckily in my opinion, this phase is much easier than the first one, and that's because in this phase you have Oyuki to help you out.
Oyuki took you in. Why betray her?
Because she's stuck in the past. You both are!
Yeah, having Oyuki in this phase is kind of like a cheat code, because jumping people in this game makes things astronomically easier.
Fight back! Fight back!
But still, the fact that he has 2 phases in the first place makes him harder than everyone else prior. Coming in at number 6, we got the Undying Samurai, and this guy's actually one of the bosses from the Mythical Tales, which is basically just a boss fight side quest.
Only when his life is taken and the armor removed will the curse be lifted.
So I mean, yeah, as you can see, the guy comes with his own hype promo. And it's not Fugazi, the hype is real. He comes equipped with a lot of the same weapons the prior bosses on this list have, and he can one-shot you out of nowhere with most of them. And he's also very persistent, so if he happens to miss you with his first attack, he'll just do it again. Now that I think about it, he really is just a harder version of Commander Kudo from before. He does have a few key differences though, like he uses his katana with both of his hands, and I think maybe that's to symbolize his proficiency with the katana, or I could just be gassing him up because he has a whole hype package. I don't know. I think the main key to beating this guy is just keeping your composure for a solid 70 seconds and keeping your reaction timing on point. The man doesn't have any really unfair mechanics, he's just pretty damn good. But I am better.
I'm better! I am better!
Halfway through our list now at number 5, we have the spider. And again, like the kitsune, this is our second encounter with him. And although the first fight with the spider is kinda challenging, it's not because he himself is difficult, but because you have to fight like 30 of his goons at the same time. However, the second time you fight him, he's all by himself. And man, it is so much harder. He really likes to use this gun. And because of that, you can see I changed my armor. And that's because this armor set allows me to deflect bullets, which of course normally are unblockable, just like this mud slash attack he has here, as well as this shoulder bash attack he has that he can pull out in the middle of my combo that kills me instantly. So yeah, even without the bullet deflecting outfit, he can still kill me in one shot. Without a doubt though, the gun is definitely the hardest thing to deal with in the fight, especially when he combos it into his melee attacks. And if he catches you at just the right distance for longer than 2 seconds, he'll take the spear off his back and launch it at you, which could potentially disarm you. But again, if you got the reaction time, you can grab that spear off the ground and launch it right back at him. This will leave him with just his katana to defend himself, which makes the fight just slightly easier. Even though he was hiding behind like 20 dudes in the first fight, the man really did not need it. I'd say he definitely earned his spot at the halfway point.
End it.
Not yet, good sir, we still got 4 more to go. And at that number 4 spot, we have the Oni.
I am a general. A war hero.
This big bastard you see before you is another member of the Yotei 6. His weapon of choice is an odachi, which is just a really big ass katana. So the range on his attacks is pretty substantial, and the amount of damage he inflicts with those attacks is no different. You can actually fight this dude pretty early on in the game, and for me that's exactly what I did, so this guy was really hard the first time I fought him. And even now in my final form, and after fighting a bunch of these bosses I don't know how many times, I still have him ranked this high on the list, and that should say something. And since he's also a member of the Yotei 6, like the kitsune before him, he too also has a second phase. And unfortunately, this one is not easier. And Jesus Christ, man, is this second phase hard. He's constantly setting his sword on fire, and if you're not constantly attacking him, he can even set parts of the arena on fire, and of course touching the fire even a little bit will hurt you. During my playthrough of the story, I genuinely fought this dude at least 25 times. To be honest, this footage doesn't really do him justice, because he had to kill me so many times in this phase for me to be able to react to him like this. And truly, my strategy once I got to this phase was genuinely to just overwhelm him and throw everything at him until he was dead. This is pretty risky since he can one-shot you and your reaction timing has to be on point, but hell, at this point I had the man's moveset memorized frame by frame. Still, with that being said, it's not easy to be perfect for 2 minutes and 46 seconds, so I think the Oni fits perfectly right here at number 4.
I deserve all his death.
And taking our number 3 spot with the bronze medal, we have the Dragon, the favorite son of Lord Saito. As an attack happens on the Matsumai castle, Asu's left to deal with the dragon, who's here to rescue his younger brother. And just like his younger brother, he's very fond of using his damn pistol. But in this fight, you also have to deal with the spider shooting at you in the background. Atsu really should have just killed that man. So again, just like the fight with the spider before, you better believe I'm gonna equip that bullet deflecting armor. The dragon has 2 different weapons, a katana and a spear, and he has basically every attack there is with these weapons. After a while too, the spider will launch these bombs on the battlefield that can disarm you, and while you're worried about that, the dragon will blast you with his pistol. The dragon can also kick these bombs towards you, making them even harder to dodge. So honestly, putting all that together, combined with him being an actually proficient fighter with every weapon he has, I personally found this fight to be among one of the hardest ones I ever had to go through. Especially because I was trying to do all these fights flawlessly, and trying not to get hit one time with a million different things capable of hitting you is honestly not very easy. And mind you, this is all over the course of one phase, and even still, this one phase is harder than the Oni and the Kitsune's 2 phases together. So he couldn't fit anywhere but right here at number 3. At number 2, we have truly an S-class fighter. This man you see before you is Takezo the Unrivaled, who is loosely based on Miyamoto Musashi, the greatest swordsman of all time.
Takezo the Unrivaled was the greatest duelist under heaven. His 2 swords claimed so many victories. It was said that Hachiman, the god of battle, blessed his left and right hand.
And yeah, to put it bluntly, this man definitely lives up to his name. The Unrivaled is not an understatement, because none of the bosses before compare to this man's skill whatsoever. Takezo is a being of pure talent and sheer speed. His weapons of choice is dual katana, and he is the absolute master at using these weapons. And of course, the only place he deems worthy to fight him is at the very tip top of Mount Yotei. So of course, there's snow all over the place. And because of the snow, this actually chips away at your main health pool, but to be completely honest, this doesn't really make a difference when you're playing on lethal, because he can one-shot you either way. Honestly, believe it or not, my strategy strategy for beating Takizo was patience. Patience in reacting to his attacks and not attacking him first.
Make this duel unforgettable.
And applying this strategy allowed me to 1. Lower my heart rate, because this dude had my heart ready to explode out of my chest, but it also allowed me to learn his parry timing, which is super crucial in creating openings to attack this man. Every time you do a regular or perfect parry, it builds up his stagger meter above his health, and developing a strategy to build up that stagger meter as quickly and efficiently as possible without getting hit is the one true key to victory. And that means doing whatever it takes. I'm talking throwing sake jars at the man, hitting him with every throwable I have, using every unblockable attack I have to my name. I'm talking straight up spamming the move if I have to. I'm cutting no corners with this man. And through after all that, even though this is one of the shortest fights on the list, the only way to truly beat Takizo is to become the unrivaled yourself.
I am Takizo the Unrivaled no more. You're the Unrivaled now. But...
And that of course leads us to our number 1, the leader of the Yotei 6 himself, Lord Saito. And man, this was without a doubt the easiest one to rank.
Creatures such as you and I cannot resist the call of revenge.
Atsu absolutely despises this man because he murdered her parents, and honestly I still might hate him more than her because of this fight. He has not 1, not 2, but 3 phases in this fight. In this first phase he swaps between a Yari, an Odachi, and this shield and sickle combo. As far as his Odachi combos go, they're pretty much identical to the Onis, and because of that when he's using this weapon I can disarm him pretty easily. However, Lord Saito also has Minecraft pockets, so disarming him really doesn't do all that much. On top of that, he's the most proficient Yari user in the entire game, so you can't just mash triangle and auto parry with him. He will still kill you. Nope, you actually have to use 100% of your brain power this entire fight or you will absolutely get killed. But if you can deal with all of that, that finally marks the end of Saito's first phase. This makes Saito take the fight a bit more serious and he pulls out his katana. Now what you're seeing here isn't actually the second phase, so I use this time to equip my favorite bullet deflecting armor. The purpose for this phase here, if you can even really call it that, is basically just like a little intermission for a cutscene. Saito disarms Atsu and then Jubei, her brother, jumps in last second and saves her, and then Atsu's wounded so she's got to find her way back to her sword, and then they can finally fight Lord Saito together as brother and sister. Now this part right here is his true second phase, and why I say that is because before when he disarmed me you literally can't die in that part, but in this part you 100% can still be killed. But really the main thing you gotta do here is just not get hit. And then after you survive long enough, Saito will throw some pocket sand right in your brother's face.
Your loyalty to each other only gives you something to lose. Atsu!
Yep, it seems Atsu's brother came down with a terrible case of death, and that throws us straight into the final phase of the fight, finally. And Lord Saito's opening attack is this slash attack that is just so incredibly hard to parry that I don't even try it. Honestly, almost all of his attacks in this phase are either unblockable or they need to be parried. I really did just want to rush through this phase and kind of hit him with everything like I did the Oni, but with Saito you just have to be way more careful and calculated. I even opted to dodge most of his attacks instead of parrying them because I was afraid I wasn't going to get the timing right. Because in this phase, if you make one mistake, you pay such a heavy price. If you're killed, you don't just go back to the beginning of this phase. Nope, you have to start the entire fight over from the very beginning, and that is just so astronomically criminal it's not even funny. And it doesn't even actually work that way when you play in the story mode. Only in the replay mode does it work this way. In the story, whatever phase you die in, it just starts you back in that same part of the phase, as it should be. I didn't keep track, but I feel like I would not be exaggerating if I told you guys I fought this man in this phase at least 70 times. This fight is just so incredibly unforgiving. The fact that dying means you go all the way back to the beginning just adds so much more to the stress. And it doesn't help that in this phase he is the most aggressive throughout the entire fight. Like the man sometimes just will not stop attacking. But eventually, if you stay sharp for just long enough, an absolutely beautiful prompt will pop up telling you to hold triangle and disarm this bastard. Never in my life did I think I'd be so happy to see a game tell me to press triangle.
You are alone.
And there it is, my friends, without a doubt, the absolute most lethal fight in Ghost of Yotei. 8 minutes and 23 seconds. So much longer than every other fight in the game. And in my opinion, this spot on the list cannot be argued. But hey, let me know if you agree with the rest of the placements on the list. Comment down below and post yours if they're different. And with that being said, I got nothing more to add. Want to thank you if you made it this far, and thank you for just watching in general. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, it's free. And if you want some more content like this, or you just like my voice, you can subscribe, it's also free. And well, that's it y'all. That's all I got for you. Go ahead and, go and get out of here now. Go on. Go and get.